Now, if there's one thing I don't like about Istanbul, it is crossing the street. It's a nightmare. It's flipping dangerous to cross the street here. And people are not going to let you pass. And now, I got to cross that bridge there. I don't even know whether I'm allowed to walk there. I guess we'll have to find out. It's coming. It'll be quick. Woohoo! Welcome to grey Istanbul. Well, it's really incredible. You wonder, okay, there's over 15 million people living here, but there's over 3,000 of these mosques here, and they're all that massive. I mean, look at this. They're massive. And impressive from the inside as well. I've been inside 4 of them already, because there's so many. They're everywhere. You're like every 100 meters, there's a flipping mosque. That's Istanbul for you. 15 million people, over 3,000 massive mosques. And you wonder whether these mosques are actually all filled. Because Turkish people, I mean, you've got some conservative people here, some rather religious people who take their religion more seriously than others. But there's also many Turks who don't care at all about their religion. You know, there's many people here who are quite secular. I mean, Turkey is known to be a rather secular state. And over there is the ferry port, from which you can take the ferry to the Asian side of Istanbul. And that's not my plan for today, because the weather is too bad to take a ferry. I want to do that another day, maybe tomorrow. But don't worry guys, I'll take you to the Asian side of Istanbul. We're going to go there. Check out Istanbul's Asian side. And here guys, we've got the fishermen of Istanbul. Now Istanbul, when you cross the bridges in Istanbul, crossing the Bosporus, you're always going to bump on all these fishermen. They're everywhere. Over there is Galata Bridge. That's the biggest bridge, crossing from one side of the European side to the other, well, the Golden Horn as they call it. And that bridge is full of fishermen. They're like in their 100s there. There's hundreds of fishermen. And it seems to be a great spot to do your fishing. Merhaba. Istanbul on a grey rainy day, fishing in Istanbul on a grey rainy day. Merhaba. Süleymani Çani, as they call it. I hope I pronounced it correctly. The mosque was built in honor of Ottoman Sultan Süleymani. And look at it, it's massive. And the best thing of this mosque, this gigantic mosque, is that it's overlooking the whole city. Just look at it. Check it out. This is Istanbul from above for you guys. As you can see, I'm now inside the mosque. And when you're inside the mosque, you you gotta respect some rules, like taking your shoes off. Now, this is not the first mosque that I've visited here in Istanbul, but I have to say, it's the most impressive. Just look at it, it's freaking beautiful. Check it out. I've made some new friends here in Turkey. Let me show you. The street cats of Süleymani Çami. Are you a sultan cat? Alright guys, I'm about to have an Istanbul specialty, which you should absolutely try this when you're in Istanbul. It's a fish sandwich, as we're here right across the Bosphorus, called balık ekmek. Balık ekmek. You actually find it everywhere here, but I've decided this is actually a travel hack for you guys, to save you a lot of money when you travel. Never eat at the most touristic places, because I've seen loads of places who sold balık ekmek right there across the more touristic area, which is more over there to the right. And there balık ekmek is going to cost you like 100 lira, which is about 5 euros. But here, in the bit more local area, which I am at right now, here it's going to cost you 50 liras. There it is, the meal which I'm going to have. So it saves you 50% of your money if you don't go to the touristic places. And yeah, I'm now waiting for my balık ekmek to arrive. Looking forward to it. Creepy delicious. Teşekkürler. Best fish. This man is the best balık ekmek griller, the best fish griller in Istanbul. I've just had a delicious fish sandwich here, balık ekmek as they call it, and it cost me a whopping 2.5 euros. You go over there, a few hundred meters, and you're gonna pay like 5 euros for it. So, it will save you a lot of money if you don't go to the touristic places for your food. Come to this place. Huma it's called. You got everything you need. Kebab, fish sandwiches, kofta, everything you crave. As for me, I'm still craving a little snack. Look at the street. Not easy crossing the streets in Istanbul. But yes guys, now I need a dessert, because that fish sandwich was delicious, but I'm still hungry. And I'll need some börek. Börek is one of my favorite Turkish meals. And I found a good place here when I was walking here before. Well, it seems like a good place, a cheap place. The cheaper the better, if you're a budget traveller like me. Look at it, looks great. So this guys is börek. Usually I take it with spinach, but they didn't have any spinach, so I went for the cheese version. There's actually some pastry filled with either spinach, cheese, beef, or potatoes. And yeah, as they didn't have any spinach, my favourite one, I went for the cheese version. Looks delicious though. Let's tuck in. This is how it looks like. Come on close. very good. I like it. And if you wonder what this huge plate has cost me, a whopping €2. Not even €2, like 180 euros. Something like that. As I'm walking towards one of the poorer neighbourhoods of Istanbul called Fener and Balat, it might be a good moment to give you my general thoughts on this leviathan of a city so far. I've been in now for a few days. I can tell you something, it's not the cheapest place to come. I mean, it's not the most expensive place either, but it's definitely not one of the cheapest places to come as a tourist. But it's like everywhere. I mean, just now I've been bragging about my 2 super cheap meals. I've had a börek and a fish sandwich, which were both delicious and quite filling, for a total amount of €4.50. But in general, it's like everywhere, you know. You have to walk to find those places. You have to look for them. You can't go to the touristic areas and expect to get these prices. As I said before, the fish sandwich, for example, if you'd walked 50 meters or 100 meters down the roads, you'd have been at the port where all the tourists go, at the Galata bridge, and there all the tourists are eating their fish sandwiches, and there they cost 100 lira, while I walked 50 meters down the road and paid 50 lira. So that's something you have to keep in mind when you come to Istanbul. But in general, it is a wonderful city which you should visit, absolutely. Behind me, you can see the colourful houses of Balat. Now Balat, as I told you, is one of the poorer neighbourhoods of Istanbul. It always used to be a neighbourhood for the minorities in Istanbul, for the Jews, the Romas, the Greeks, the Egyptians who came here and settled here. And yeah, nowadays the colourful houses are probably a reminder of the diversity of this neighbourhood, and probably showcasing Istanbul's diversity in general, which, if you look up this street, is showcased by this incredible church. Looks like a church. Look at it. The colourful houses of Balat. Damn, I've got to say, they've got quite some conditions, those Balatians. I mean, they live in a very steep neighbourhood. Look at it. I'm out of breath already. And out of water again. That's a big thing in Istanbul. Some neighbourhoods are built up in the hills, like this one. Reminds me a bit of South American neighbourhoods, the favelas of Colombia, Brazil, and these countries. Because I reckon now it's not so much a poor neighbourhood anymore. Okay, you've got buildings like this one, of course. But in general, I think it's not so much, probably not the poorest neighbourhood anymore. But it used to be a rather poor neighbourhood in the past, and as so often, these poor neighbourhoods are located up in the hills. It's a flipping church. Did you know that in Istanbul there is also churches, not only mosques? Of course you would. But Istanbul is full of mosques, over 3,000 of them. But you've also got churches, as you can see here. What? Church?
No church, school.
A school?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I thought it was a church.
Oh, church.
Ah, okay. And this is a school.
Yeah.
Now, this ain't the church. I was chatting shit to you guys. This ain't the church. It's a school. That's us. Quite friendly local man has just told me it's a school, not a church. But yeah, again, some beautiful views of Istanbul. Check it out.